I didn't start eating less. I just stopped wasting what I already bought. Once I changed how I planned meals, my grocery bill dropped and dinner got easier. Most people believe the only way to spend less on groceries is to buy less food.
Cut back.
Remove items.
Stick to a strict list.
But that approach usually doesn't last. You feel restricted. You miss convenience. And eventually you go back to your normal habits. That's not what I did. I didn't reduce how much I ate. I didn't switch to extreme budgeting. I didn't build a complicated system. Instead, I made one simple change. I started using what I already had. And once I did that, everything shifted. My grocery bill dropped without forcing it. Food waste almost disappeared. And the daily question of what should I cook became easier to answer. This isn't about discipline. It's about changing how you use your kitchen. Where the money was actually going at first, I assumed my grocery spending was high because of prices or because I was buying too much. But when I paid attention, I noticed something else. I wasn't throwing away full meals. I was wasting small things. Half-used vegetables. Leftovers I didn't finish. Ingredients I bought for one specific recipe and never touched again. Each one felt too small to matter. Throwing away a bit of lettuce doesn't feel like a loss. Leaving a small portion of rice in the fridge doesn't seem important. But those small amounts happen again and again. And over time, they add up. At the end of the week, it's not just scraps. It's real money. That's when I realized something important. I wasn't losing money when I bought food. I was losing money when I didn't use it. The real problem: most people believe grocery spending depends on what you buy. But the real issue is what you don't use. You can choose affordable items and still lose money if they sit in your kitchen unused. Food that isn't used is already wasted, no matter how cheap it was. The problem isn't how much food you have. It's how you decide to use it. Every day, you face the same question. What should I cook? When that decision feels unclear or difficult, you delay it. You wait for a better moment. You pick something easier. Or you ignore what's already there. That delay is where waste begins. Food stays in your fridge longer than it should. Options slowly disappear. And eventually, the easiest choice becomes throwing it away. Food doesn't wait for you to decide, so the longer you delay, the more you lose. What I changed: instead of focusing on what to buy, I changed how I used what I already had. I stopped asking, "What do I feel like eating?" and started asking, "What needs to be used?" That one question made everything simpler, because now I wasn't relying on mood. I was using priority, and priority removes confusion. When something needs to be used, the decision is clear. You stop delaying. You start acting. The simple system I used: I didn't create a complex plan. I kept it simple. Before cooking anything, I checked my kitchen. I looked for what is already open, what hasn't been used, what might go bad. Soon then I picked 2 or 3 items, and I built a simple meal around them. That's it. No detailed recipes. No over-planning. Just simple combinations that worked in the moment. What can you cook? Let's make this practical. If your kitchen feels random, change how you look at it. Instead of searching for full meals, focus on simple combinations. Eggs with vegetables can turn into a quick scramble or omelet. Rice with leftovers can become a fast bowl or fried rice. Bread with anything available can turn into a sandwich. Pasta with sauce can easily become a complete meal. You don't need perfect combinations or detailed recipes to make this work. What you need are simple, clear decisions. Once you decide what to make, the process becomes easier. You stop overthinking, you start cooking faster, and you make better use of what you already have. Why this reduces spending: when you start using what you already have, your habits begin to shift without effort. You become more aware of what's in your kitchen, so you stop buying the same items again and again. You remember what needs to be used, and ingredients don't get pushed to the back and forgotten. Food no longer sits unused. Instead of adding more items every time you shop, you begin finishing what's already there. Your kitchen becomes more organized, and your choices become clearer. As a result, you shop less often because you don't need to replace things as quickly. You're not forcing yourself to cut spending or limit what you eat. You're simply making better use of what you already paid for. And over time, that small shift naturally lowers your grocery bill. The habit that made the biggest difference, the most important habit I built, was simple, but it made a real difference. Before buying anything, I started checking my kitchen. I looked at what I already had and asked two clear questions: what is already available, and what needs to be used first? This small step completely changed how I approached shopping. Instead of buying things randomly or out of habit, I began buying only what supported the ingredients I already had at home. That meant fewer duplicates and fewer items sitting unused. Over time, this reduced unnecessary purchases. I wasn't trying to cut spending directly, but it happened naturally. By being more aware of what was already in my kitchen, I made better decisions, and that gradually lowered my grocery bill. Why most people don't do this: most people skip this step. They plan meals first, then they shop, but they don't check what's already in their kitchen. So they end up buying duplicates. More food comes in, older food gets pushed to the back, and eventually it gets wasted. This cycle repeats every week, not because people don't care, but because their system doesn't include what they already have. What changed after this? Once I started using this approach, the results became obvious. I didn't feel restricted or like I was cutting back. I was still eating full, satisfying meals, and buying groceries as usual. The difference was that I was using what I already had instead of letting it go to waste. Because of that, my spending naturally went down. I wasn't trying to save money directly, but it happened anyway. Cooking also became easier. I removed the hardest part, which is deciding what to make. Instead of starting from zero every day, I started with ingredients that were already in my kitchen. That gave me a clear direction and made everyday cooking faster, simpler, and more manageable. Real-life scenario: imagine this. You come home and open your fridge. You see random ingredients. Normally you'd think, there's nothing to cook. But now, you do something different. You pick 2 or 3 items. You combine them. You make something simple. Dinner is ready. No extra shopping. No delay. That's the difference. Simple rule to follow if you take one thing from this video. Make it this: before you cook anything, look at what you already have. Pick a few items. Build a simple meal. That's it. No overthinking. No complicated system. Just consistent decisions. Cutting grocery spending is not about eating less. It's about wasting less. When you use what you already have, you naturally spend less, and your kitchen becomes easier to manage. Most people try to fix their grocery bill by changing what they buy. But the real change happens when you change how you use it. Before you buy more food, look at what you already have. Check what is open.
Check what needs to be used.
Pick a few items. Build a simple meal around them. That is how spending starts to go down without feeling restricted. You are not eating less. You are wasting less. And when you waste less, your kitchen becomes easier to manage. If you want help turning the ingredients already sitting in your kitchen into simple meal ideas, Prepterra is designed exactly for that. Just add what you already have, and Prepterra helps you generate smarter meal suggestions so you can stop starting from zero every single night. It makes cooking easier, reduces wasted food, and helps you get more value from the groceries you already paid for. Download Prepterra or get your free personalized meal plan using the link in the description. And subscribe to the channel for more practical kitchen tips, smarter meal strategies, and everyday Prepterra ideas designed to make cooking simpler and less stressful. Start using what you already have, and stop wasting food, time, and money unnecessarily.